Okay, thank you, Paul, for for your generosity, patience, and organization, and for this conference, of course, for being patient and open-minded to put up this talk, as you will see why. So let's first Ganesh, and then we begin. ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः ॐ गणेशाय नमः. Okay, so some of the stuff, like I mentioned earlier informally, that I was on a course and it just blew my mind away. It is coming from an unknown siddhar. Siddhars are people like they're dotted all over the country. They are obviously people with great wisdom and a lot of secret knowledge, which they pass down through various people. And so it has just got filtered in. And there are some mentions of some concepts that we will look at, and that is forms the basis of how the karma is being farmed out. But some of the stuff I'm going to introduce about the lineage. See, in the Vedic stuff or in the Vedic world, and I'm talking of even like the Vedanta and the entire country really, and its legacy, the lineage, the concept of lineage is very important. We are all connected in some way. It doesn't matter what nationality and color, irrespective, it's irrelevant. We are all connected to some rishi or the other. And I did this thing on Brihaspati. So Brihaspati has got a lot of mention in the Rig Veda. And he is the name of the deity who received the Chandra Jnana Agama, okay? And from the great Naga, Anantanag, the serpent energy has come straight through, because they have immense amount of wisdom and secrets embedded in them. And this was given, finally he obtained it from Sadashiva himself and transmitted it later to the Devas and through the rishis, and finally it trickled down to us. So you understand why the importance of rishis and lineage, okay? And it is central to Hindu philosophy. And it is interesting that this knowledge, some of it got written down much, much later, including some of the Jyotish knowledge. A lot of it is spoken. And that is probably the secret why the Vedas are still alive and well today, because it is an oral tradition. You know, before you sit down and write, which is a very strong karma, it's a very kama and karma sort of mixture act, you know. Before you do that, first is the listening, you know. So the guru and the disciple, there is a great link about all about listening, and hence the importance of lineage. And there, of course, the sages wrote down later the agamas, vedas, so on and so on forth. And you know, so it's sort of like a revealed knowledge through oral tradition. And often after every pralay, after every sort of big epoch or big yugas, you know, there is a complete annihilation and destruction of not just the solar system, but probably everything else, and including the sun, which gets recharged and kind of, you know, reconfigured. And so this is a good iconography showing sage Agastya drinking up the ocean to stop from pralay. You know, pralay is destruction. Now, here we see that the Matsya avatar is saving the rishis from pralay and destruction. So Matsya avatar again is a sort of like a Ketu energy, Ananta energy, and its direction is right upward in towards the Dhruv Tara, that is the polar star or the pole star or the northern star, and literally our entire earth and is sort of like, you know, on its axis is being pulled towards the pole star. And that is also the reason why the nakshatras are beyond the solar system. They are in the antariksha, they are beyond the solar system, they do not belong to the solar system. So hence it's got even more knowledge, you know, more impact and knowledge on our lives. And this is from Brihat Nakshatra Guruji's text, and here's some of the 7 great lineages or seers. The names may vary more or less, you know, depending on which yuga and which Puran you are seeing, but essentially they are one and the same form. So Marichi and Kashyap for the Surya or the sun, or he's the father of the sun, would more or less be the same. Okay, so it changes a little bit by every yuga, but it's not the essential meaning remains the same. So Vashishta for Saturn and so on and so forth. So in somewhere along these 7 seers or the Sapta Rishis or the 7 sages is our lineage. Entire mankind, literally, like I said, irrespective, they reside here, and they are also the giver, and that they have a mapping to the planet, and of course the planets and reside somewhere along, within the solar system. They do travel somewhere along the constellations. Now, the concept of karma, when we talk about why we are all here, it is very simple. It's karma. It is it's like a hamster on a wheel. This isn't like one of my favorite analogies. It is perennial. Unless we, through knowledge, through consciousness, we study and figure out what is going on, we cannot get or grapple or come to grips with our karma. There is no way. You can't just like enjoy life and treat the earth as if it's like a resource and, to be sort of disposed of and live here forever and expect that everything will work perfectly. It won't, because your life here on earth will invariably turn into one long suffering, which it probably already is for most people. 90% of the people fall under that category. So then it begins the question, hey, what is my karma? What am I here for? And then we do know that the entire Vedic knowledge has a very close correlation with the concept of karma. It is almost like a roughly speaking, and kind of really bringing it down to the brass tacks, it's like the cause and causal and effect, action, reaction kind of a thing. But the concept of Atman is very, very strongly associated with everything that we do. Atman is also like the Brahman, and literally the soul remains untouched. So it does have all these layers of karmic sort of residue on it, and it is sort of exhausting its millions of births and lives and deaths, karma, which is unfulfilled, unfinished, all the desires, which is nothing but the samsara, the wheel of samsara. And this karma can relate to on many levels: physical, mental, spiritual, so on and so forth. So nice sort of analogy here. So let me move like a little bit quickly, because I feel we have a lot to cover. So in Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad, it states that the Sava Isha Mahana Aja Atmajaro, that is, the soul is glorious, unborn, deathless, free from old age, immortal and fearless. So our sole purpose in life really is to, through knowledge, through studying, through how much ever we can do, through our sadhanas, our practices, is to reach that Brahman, that soul that we are a reflection of Sadashiva, and that is literally our purpose. And as much as possible, exhaust all the karmas that are associated with our soul. So typically, 8 forms of Lord Shiva or the divine manifestations are all called the Ashtamurti Shiva. You can see here old ancient relics of depicting the Ashtamurti. Ashtamurti is 8 forms of Shiva, giving us 8 different flavors of karma in all spheres. Hey, guess what? That maps into the 8 planetary spheres. Of course, Ketu being the Moksha Karaka, it is certainly left out. So now we come to, when we talk about the lineages, we talk about all this karma being attached. Is this karma like on, because the whole thing is interplay of karma of many, many lifetimes. So is this karma has anything to do with our Atma? Well, and so if it does, then how does this is a complicated topic, but essentially when we do come into our existence, we are you can call it Kundalini energy, which it is. So the DNA, which is from the scientific point of view, as you can see on the screen, is like an abbreviation for deoxyribonucleic acid, so this is all kind of the science of it, one prokaryotic and eukaryotic and all of that, but it's a double helix and it does transmit many DNA genetic codes informations carries across generations, so this is not like a random thing. Hey, I'm born in a certain family, blue eyes and so on and so forth, and it's not random at all. The karma, as far as the Vedic system is concerned, it is perfect in a match. Perfect. Physiologically, psychosomatically, it is perfectly matched. So here you can see how it mutates and moves forward. New strands are created and so on and so forth. Often science say that DNAs cannot be changed, but I think with the so if somebody has the famous example of what's her name, the one who removed her breast because she thought her mother had cancer, breast cancer, and so she thought she's going to invariably get it, so she might as well get rid of her breast, which I think I don't know. I'm sort of quite amused by that. So the famous actress, I forget her name, somebody, anyway, it doesn't matter. But essentially,
she was married to Brad Pitt. I can't remember her name either.
Yes, Angelina Jolie. Thank you. So the thing with this is that the mindset is that, hey, the DNA cannot be changed. But it can be. And I think through a lot of tapas, through a lot of things, people can overcome a lot of terrible ills, Of course, now I'm going to get really rammed by people saying, oh, but there is certain karma you have to go through. Yes, indeed. Some karmas are adred and dred karma. So we won't go into the various kinds, but right now let's not focus on the kinds, but essentially things can the DNA can be changed through a lot of awareness and so on and so forth. But of course, like I said, karma is a big topic, so this is not really about the karma, but the karma from the nakshatras. So now we all know the classification of the nakshatras, okay? The Ashwini to Ashlesha, the 9 batches, each belongs to Bhu, Bhuar, Swaha, the 3 different lokas, which earlier I think who was talking about? John was talking about the various Bhur, Bhuar, Swaha, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So he mentioned that. So each of these are sets into 9, and so 27 nakshatras, and we are all familiar with that, various sounds and so on and so forth. So we won't delve too much, but here's my little image of all the all the nakshatras mapped to the rashis. But here our focus is reclassification. And in order to reclassify, remember we went through the Ashtamurti Shiva, the eight planetary schemes, the 8 planets getting mapped to our karmas. Now, if you follow through that it's a little bit like include Rahu as Atmakaraka. I know Atmakaraka is the king of your chart, and all the Charakarakas, they get farmed, all your karma gets farmed. Each of these Charakarakas carry a certain karma. Matrikaraka will have a karma with your lineage, motherland, mother, so on and so forth, right? So Rahu is included, and the only thing that is not included is Ketu, because naturally it is a moksha karaka. So here we are classifying as per the Ashtamurti Shiva grahas, but in the order of the weekday. Now, this has not been really classed as such. This hasn't been explicitly taught, but I put it together because I kept racking my brains why certain of these are, is it a weekday, what is it? So this is what I have come up with. If somebody has a better idea of the classification, I am all ears. And like I said, this is a little bit of a secret coming. This is not a direct, it's passed down from a Tamil siddhar. And so really, so you'll have to just bear with me. And I am introducing the concept. So by all means, so sun karma, okay, the sun ruled nakshatras, or sorry, not rule, but sun karmic registry nakshatras, as we call it, the DNA of the sun. They carry the DNA for Surya, which is the first weekday graha, okay, Sunday, Monday, so on and so forth. So it is Ashwini, Ashlesha, Anuradha, Purva, Bhadra, and so on and so forth. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the degrees given, so don't get confused. And the numbers are literally the numbering system for each of the nakshatra. Never forget the numbering system for the nakshatra. They are vital. Ashlesha will always be 9 no matter where and what. And similarly, Anuradha 17, and the 25th nakshatra is Purva Bhadra. Okay. Similarly, the moon is Bharani, moon karmic registry, Bharani, Magha, Jyeshtha, and Uttar Bhadrapad is carrying those karmic registry planets. So the karma related to the moon, and we will see later with examples what it entails, and so on and so forth. And the Rahu is last, Purva, Pushya, sorry, I beg your pardon, Pushya, Vishakha, and Shatabhishaj. Okay, so let's move some basic rules. Okay, when we are analyzing, we are literally we have no concern whatsoever with the rashis. We have left the rashis behind for the moment. Okay, so ignore the rashis, because our focus is the nakshatras in certain groups, like the sun, moon, and so on and so forth, by the weekday graha planets, or the Ashtamurti Shiva planets, like the Charakarakas, and we are dealing with only those sets of nakshatras. So of course, by all means, we will go a little bit into which houses and how they carry, because they also have an impact, but the rashis are the third potential. They are not the main. The main potential is the karmic imprint, and karma impact is most if the nakshatra of the lagna or the rashi, there is a moon rashi, is falling in, let's say for the Surya imprint, it is Ashwini, Ashlesha, Anuradha, or Purva Bhadrapad. Is everybody clear at this stage on this? Yeah? Anyone? Any problems? No.
I'm not exactly. You put in the weekday order there, and then
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the Rahu next. It's the Ashtamurti's Shiva.
So you're comparing what's in this table, the nakshatras. So Bharani is against moon. So why is Bharani against the moon? I'm not quite clear.
Because we are taking the first 8 planets. All the 8 classification.
Okay, so Bharani is the second nakshatra.
Yes, thank you.
So you compared it. putting it in the table against the moon because it's day 2. So Ashwini is the first, so that goes, and then it presumably it repeats then.
Yes,
so once you get to Pushya, you then go to, so where's Ashleisha then?
Here, on top in the red, I've color coded it. So for the sun, it is orange. So Ashleisha.
I get it. Yeah.
So
that's straightforward.
Yeah, exactly. So so no problems. Yeah. So our focus is each of these we will go through very quickly, and then you can ask all the questions. Like I said, I'm introducing the concept because there is a lot more depth than that, especially, so it's like a bit like reverse engineering. Okay, so we'll see what I mean by reverse engineering. So it's like taking a slightly non-traditional approach, but it works. So these nakshatras which are the sun, which are color coded, these 4 of these will carry the karmas, the karma or the blueprint for the sun. Okay, now at this stage, another small thing we have introduced, okay, which is the planet in which it is born in. So for example, the Hasta is born in Surya is born in the nakshatra of Hasta. Similarly, moon is born in Mrigashira. Okay, so for this stage, our first batch is Ashleisha, right? In this, Ashleisha is the only one which is carrying the birth star of Ketu. Okay, so what does that mean if it is carrying the birth star of Ketu? Because Ketu was born under the birth star of Ashleisha. So this is our first group belonging to the sun. Okay, so Ketu was born under Ashleisha. Hence Ketu indicates the sun karma or the DNA of the sun. The Mool Trikona for Ketu, because we are taking the karmic register, the birth star of Ashleisha, because they have a similar nature. Within families, you will find that if somebody has a moon, son has got a moon in Ashwini, the father, the mother, or somebody will have a very strong signature in other nakshatras. Mark my words. And so, for example, so Ketu, the Mool Trikona for Ketu is Pisces, okay? So then when we talk in the Kal Purusha, Pisces is the last sign. So what are we saying then? Hey, the 12th house has also got involved in this because Pisces in the natural order of things is the last sign. Okay, so hence we have to then say that if any of these nakshatras have any connection with either the lagna, okay, the first is lagna, nakshatra of the lagna, or the moon nakshatra, okay, that is the most important one. Then it will have full impact. There is big karmas to be availed depending on who the Lagna Lord is and where the planet is going and so on and so forth. And the 12th house. There is a definitive karma coming for these nakshatras which belong to the sun karmic registry coming from the 12th house. The second potential is that supposing you don't have the first one, the second potential is maybe you have a bhava lord, that is a lagna lord connected with the bhava combination. So let's say the lagna lord is in, let's say, Leo lagna. Hey, there's no Ashwini there, there's no Ashleisha there, okay? Fine. So it's some other nakshatra. But your lagna lord, Surya, may be in the 9th house in the Ashwini nakshatra. So that is your second point or second potential of fruition, karma coming to fruition, because it is still coming under this particular registry of the sun in Ashwini. So that is very, very strong. So that means that at least, this second potential is definitely is belonging under the second potential. The third is when a planet is directly placed in a particular Rashi, and the lord of that Rashi and so on and so forth is has the karmic has the nakshatra link, that is those 4 nakshatras. Okay, so but the third is obviously the weakest. We are looking for the first and the second and how it impacts the 12th house and lagna. When the lagna gets involved, the karma is for sure, it is definite. And so what does that mean? So whenever we talk about the 12th house, obviously we are talking of the mirror opposite the 6th house. When we are talking of the Surya karma, we are talking about the father figures. That is a big theme in their lives. Either there will be some issues with the father or some problem, some conflict, something or the other. And the 10th lord, because the Surya has got Digbala in the 10th. This is again, don't ask me why the 10th, but it is there. That is what has been given. But somehow it works. Okay, so just bear with me and just open your mind to it. And it often is said that people who have a very strong signature in these, like Lagna Lord, or or Lagna itself is in Ashwini, or Moon is in all these any of these nakshatras, then it is said maybe in your family the others will play a role. The others it'll get farmed out. Maybe there'll be an Anuradha signature there too in the family, very strong. So it is said, do not follow father's advice without weighing it sensibly. Okay, now okay, so here is another classification I've done. This is for the moon, but right now we are doing the sun. Okay, so what does it mean, Ketu, the 6th house? We are talking, what does that sun karma entail? The sun karma entails the 6th house, Ketu. Where is Ketu? Employments, professions, medical profession is on top of the heap when it comes to sun karma. Top of the heap. Okay, they will somehow invariably, if they have a very strong, let's say 10th lord to 12th lord connection or lagna lord connection, or to the 6th or the 12th lord, invariably, if any of these 4 stars are connected, invariably they will have some very strong signature in the medical profession. Okay, but again, the father karma is looming with the father. Okay, there is, so again, the 1st, 6th and 10th bhava lords also will give you a similar sort of effect of the Surya karma. Now again, like I said, that is the 3rd potential or the 2nd potential, 3rd or 2nd potential, and it is not as strong as actually having a strong luminaries or the lagna itself in these Ashwini, Ashlesha or Anuradha or Purva Bhadra nakshatras. Okay, so let's see an example chart. Okay, let's see Samuel Hahinmanen. Oh, I beg your pardon, I can't pronounce that. It's German, forget it. But he is the father of homeopathy. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, here we have the lagna. The lagna is Scorpio. Okay, it is in Jyeshtha, so no. Now, the 10th lord, who's the 10th lord? Oh, it's got a beautiful Jupiter in it too. But the 10th lord is Surya. And it is in, lo and behold, it is in Ashwini. So you see, he has a very, very strong, and it's in the 6th house. He has a very strong karma to do with like a father figure or be the and he is, guess what? He's called the father of homeopathy. He was one of the first, whatever, whether you believe in it or not, it's irrelevant in homeopathy. But the fact is, there are millions of people who have benefited from it till date, like more than that. And I myself use it though. And the other, so you see, that is a very, very strong signature. Now let's see if is the karma heavy enough? Is it very strong enough? Okay, then we have to see where the Mars is. Mars, which is a Lagna Lord. And is the Mars Lagna Lord involved with the 6th or the 12th house? Because of the Ketu connection. Remember, we did that. The Ketu is the star. Birth star of Ketu is in Ashlesha. So it is the 12th house. We took the Mool Trikon, which is Pisces, in the Naisargika, the natural Kalpurusha. So obviously, this is a principle. This is a derived principle. So that if there is any Ashwini prevalent or Ashlesha prevalent or any of those other stars prevalent, then we have to look at what is the 10th Lord. Lagna Lord is indicated. Is it with the Lagna Lord? Here it is. Lagna Lord and the 6th Lord is the same. Fantastic. It's ticking our box. Mars has an aspect on Rashi Drishti on Surya. Fantastic. And so now what happens to the 6th Lord? Hey, we've got our fundamental Lagna Lord, our, Lagna Lord is involved and aspecting the 10th Lord. Fantastic. That is 10th Lord is in Ashwini. Definitely the karma there. What about the 6th Lord? Lo and behold, the 6th Lord is with Mangal. It is with Mars in and aspecting this whole configuration is aspecting Surya. Finished. This is a step 1. So this is a little bit, you'll take a time to sink in, but once it does, you will be blown away how much you can figure out by this. But this is the first step. First couple of steps you have to take, kind of suspend disbelief in a way. So let's look at another example. Billy Joel, okay? Sun is in Bharani. So we are not talking about that karmic registry. So it's not. So forget about that. So what is going on here? Is anything in Ashwini or yes, he's got Rahu in Ashwini. Wow. And that's the 9th Lord Ashwini in Rahu is in the 11th house. Very, very strong karma. And it is also his Atmakaraka. And the moon is in Hasta. So that's not because we have our 4 Ashlesha, Anuradha, Purva Bhadra, and Ashwini. So it's only one of them is ticking the box here. Okay. So maybe not the medical one as much, but yeah, there is a little bit about because he does have a karmic blueprint of Rahu and Venus. So little bit, there is Rahul's Mool Trikona has got involved in, but it is not as perfect as our Samuel Hennen and, the father of homeopathy. Let's look at another one here. Prince Charles. Okay, let's see what Mr. Charles or rather King Charles is here. Oh my God, he's got moon in the 10th. So it's ticking a big box, moon in the 10th. Fabulous. And its moon is in, lo and behold, in Ashwini in the 10th house. Wow. Is the 6th Lord involved? Yes. Mercury, it's opposite the moon. Moon Mercury is called, the classical texts carry this particular yoga as Sharda Yoga. Sharda Yoga will give you a great sense of healing, powers of knowledge, alternative knowledge, Ayurveda. And when COVID happened, and I hate to say that because one of my teachers was like livid that I said that he went actually to India for Ayurveda to sort his COVID stuff out, so it is a little bit hush and all that. And even the Doshi Originals, his company, which is, their products are all over, and various other food stuff and alternative stuff, which has got like no chemicals. He's like a big believer in like no chemicals, organic food and all of that and all that. But of course you could say that, hey, with all the backing of the king and the royalty, of course he will be able to do anything. But yeah, sure, Prince Andrew, he would have gone that way, but this the King Charles didn't. Where did he go? He's into douchey originals and all of that. So you see, why is that particular karma come to him, and Prince Andrew has some other karma? Why? It's because of this reason. The moon in Ashwini in the 10th, the 12th lord has got connected, direct aspect, so all this is extremely, and Rahu is also in Ashwini. Whoa, and Rahu is his Matrikaraka. Matrikaraka means the homeland, the lineage. He would not get on with the royalty or his mother, because it's the mother lineage we are talking about. And of course, he did have problems after marrying Diana and so on. That's history anyway. So you see where I'm getting at. That so this is a definitive Surya karma being farmed, but he's made a good thing out of it because the 10th lord has got involved. Moon itself is the Lagna lord. So you see, he may not have a direct, the Lagna may not be in there, but the Lagna lord and the moon Rashi has got involved in Ashwini. So any questions so far? Before we move to the moon karmic? Okay, no worries. Okay. Why are there hearts flying around? Sorry, is there a problem? No. Okay.
That was me just saying that I love you. That I like what you're saying, but I don't.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So bear with me. Yeah, it is a little bit new. So, as much as I can do, I'll do in an hour, hour and 10. So here we are talking of, let's move to the moon karmic. Which are the bunches here for moon karmic, blueprints? Here we are talking of Bharani, Magha, Jyeshtha, and Uttara Bhadrapad. So if you, the slide, let me go back to the slide. Yeah. So these are the 4 nakshatras which are, which are carrying the karmic registry, out of which Bharani, the birth star of Bharani, just ignore this. I think I forgot to, again, this is the ruler, but we are looking at the birth star of Shukra is in Magha Nakshatra. Wow. And the birth star of Rahu is in Bharani. So now in this batch of the moon karmic nakshatras, we have Bharani, Magha, Jyeshtha, and Uttara Bhadrapad. Okay. So out of which Magha and Bharani have got their birth stars. Venus and Rahu are the birth stars. They were born in this particular nakshatra. So they both are carrying the influence directly of the moon's karma. So how do we then, what is our rule? If there is a particular birth star associated with a particular batch of nakshatra, we take the Mool Trikon for Venus, because Venus is mapping to Magha. So Mool Trikona for Venus is Libra. Mool Trikona for Rahu is Virgo. So Naisargika, by the natural Kal Purusha, the 7th house is the house of Venus, Libra house. 6th house is Virgo. Simple. So our big karma, when we are talking of the moon registry, is coming through the 6th and the 7th house. See, oops, let me delete that. Oops, erase that, sorry. Okay. So everybody getting this? So our moon karma, this is the moon, and it is coming through the 6th and the 7th bhavas. Okay. Okay. So far, so good. Let's move to the next one. So what does the moon karma entail? What is the 6th and the 7th? There has to be some connection, okay? And then we won't go into the advanced about the 4th house and all that, because that involves former learning, because it is a vast topic. It's very deep, okay? Nakshatras is a very deep topic. Nakshatras are, like I said, beyond the solar system. This is not your average Rashi, okay? It's not Rashis. Rashis is here, Bhuloka. It'll give you all the wealth, everything you ask. You ask Bhaskara, Surya, it'll give you all the wealth and everything. But the nakshatras are another very subtle, beyond, they're in the antariksha. Okay, so here Food industry. Because it's a karmic moon registry. So it is food industry, food processing, foods, hotels, catering, marine, water related, everything, all these professions and anything to do with this, they have a karma towards. So setting up a restaurant, cafe, this, that, gemstone business, because all this is moon, psychotherapy, psychology, psychiatry, all this is moon, water travels, drinks, beverages, manufacturing of water plants, homeopathy even, provision of grocery stores, food products, pharmacy, counseling, diving deep into the human mind. Wow, this is all studying the human mind, because moon is the manas. It is our mind. Share markets. Why share markets? Because they fluctuate. Moon is the fastest moving luminary. They'll go up and down. Every minute is changing. Every minute. I'm a moon atmakaraka. I don't even plan it. I can get busy like at a drop of a hat. I don't even know why. You know, I'm constantly, everybody complains that I'm constantly running around, I'm doing too much. But I just think like, but I'm doing really nothing. That's the moon for you, you see? That's really the moon. So similarly, the share markets, there's a lot of fluctuations up and down. That's the moon. So all of these are carrying the karmic registry for the moon. And the 6th and the 7th lord conjunction, 6th lord in the 7th, 7th lord in the 6th, in the, and Lagna Lord also getting involved, 10th Lord also getting involved, 100% guaranteed you will be in one of these professions, guaranteed. Okay, move forward. Wow, look at this person. We all know who he is. Do we? Of course. Carl Gustav Jung. Okay. Where is there any of these nakshatras in his chart? Yes, it is. Which ones are those? Bharani itself, the moon in Bharani. Oh my God, this is like this. You can't make up this stuff. Okay. Is the 6th lord involved? Yes, the 6th lord is in the moon is the 6th lord is Mercury. Okay. So Mercury is the 10th lord involved. Yes, the 10th lord is involved. It's with Mercury, with the 6th lord. So you know immediately that there is some profession he has to do or follow, which will involve a lot of this kind of stuff. Okay. Though he has not just Bharani, does he have anything else? He's got Mars and Jyeshtha. So even Jyeshtha, so it is falling under the moon family. Where is Mangal? Mangal is in the 11th house. It has a direct drishti on that moon. So you see there is a lot of connections with his profession, what he's born to do, karmically, what he was born to do. It is inevitable. And with the moon, it is very deep. It will come through the women. It will come through the matriarchal lineage, this karma, this whole obsession with diving deep in. And not just that, mark my words, if he's got this, whoever he marries or whatever he does, they will have a very strong, some nakshatra, some planets in this nakshatra, guaranteed. Bharani, Maga, Jyeshtha, Uttara, guaranteed in the family. And they will have a very strong 6th, 7th house signature as well, because that was giving you the moon karma. Okay. Psychological issues, negative influences, he will be subject to. He did. You know what happened? I will tell you what happened. He married his wife, Emma. Very, very wealthy, very rich. Does she have this? This is her chart. I don't know the authenticity of the timing, but I think it is sort of correct A or B rating. But let's see if she is. Oh my God, she's got moon in Magha. Oh my God. So you see the Magha, he's Bharani moon, she's Magha moon. This is, you can't make this up. It has to be. Okay, it has to be. So let's see others, you know, the 6th lord and the sixth lord is in the eighth. She was supporting his psychological stuff throughout. They had many children. She was very wealthy. Because of that, there was a one big driving force. She would type out his stuff. But in spite of all this, because remember what I said, it gives you a definitive emotional psychological issue. What did he do? He went and had an affair with Tony Wolf. Sorry, the chart is not there of Tony Wolf. I don't have the exact timing of Tony Wolf. Tony Wolf helped him. She was one of his interns, and they had a roaring affair for years on end. And I think his wife Emma kind of left it at that. But what I'm essentially coming to is that this karmically they were interlinked. So for years and years, she was his mistress, but they tolerated it. But ultimately, Tony Wolf was absolutely, after a few years working with him and being his mistress, she left because she was absolutely heartbroken. She could not deal with it. She could not live with the duality, which is the moon. So you see, there is a very strong signature of the karmic registry of the moon, psychology and psychotherapy. He's called the father of psychotherapy. And the sixth and the seventh, and that is his profession. Okay, moving forward. Now we have Mangal, Mars. Who are the karmic registry nakshatras, which Mars represents? Kritika, Purva Falguni, Mula, and Revati. Wow. So these are carrying Kritika, Purva Falguni, Mula, and Revati, Mars karmic registry grahas. So these are all of them. Let's move forward. What does it mean? Revati, as you may well know, and this has been mentioned even the Brihad Nakshatra book of Sanjay Rath, he has mentioned that the birth star of Shani is Revati. Okay. So what does that mean? If the birth star in one of this block of Mars, karmic registry nakshatras is falling the Shani's birth. So we have to take the Mool Trikona literally of Shani. Mool Trikona of Shani is Aquarius. Hence the Naisargika in the natural Kalpurusha template, 11th house maps into the sign Aquarius. So typically, any combination of 4 and 11, 4th Lord in 11th, 11th Lord in 4th, all of these will carry a very strong Mangal karmic print, very strong. And the 6th Lord invariably also will get involved because of issues of employment. Whenever, and this is very specific to Mangal, okay? Whenever Mangal karmic registry nakshatras are present in your chart, whatever house that rules, you will feel immense anger. There will be conflict and anger, and it will be a disaster with that person. It will not be good. You especially anger because it is Mangal, Hence, so 11th, so we are looking for 4-11 combinations, 11-6 triggering the employment and anger. They should, because Mangal is a Karaka of properties and realties and real estates and all that, they have to buy always freehold, that is no share, independent. For people who are on the other side of the Atlantic, they may be, I don't know, they may be using some other terminology, but here in the UK, we say freehold. Freehold meaning it's not like a flat and you're not sharing the flat by paying, paying a certain, like a rental or paying a certain sort of, for maintenance of the building. This is a freehold, like you have full independent property freehold share. Okay, so do fill me in if there is any other terminology. Okay, so here let's see. So often when we talk of Mangal, we are talking of the blueprint of Mangal. We are talking definitely about the properties and stuff like that. So whom do we have here? Anil Ambani. Wow, he's like, his house. There are helicopters in Mumbai. His whole building, There are helicopters landing, or he's got a helipad there. He's got many properties all over the world. They have a massive estate. I think he's bought like a whole village with hospitals and stuff like that in the UK. I mean, this, in terms of his real estate, it is like crazy, okay? So, of course, then it begins the question, what Mars karma is he carrying? Is he carrying at all anything? Let's see. So we are having Kritika here. Wow, look, Kritika. So that fits the bill. What is Kritika? The moon exalted in the 6th house in Kritika. Fabulous. So you know immediately that this person, there is certain real estate, something involvement there. It will come through. Okay, let's fish for more. Mula. Mula is there too. Mula is in Sagittarius. What do we have here? Shani in Mula. Oh my God, that's on his Lagna. That's right on his Lagna. Wow. So Shani in Lagna, that's a definitive karma for all of that, for all the like the property related stuff. So you see, it does work. Now, of course, the Lagna Lord is also, moon has an aspect of the Lagna Lord, and so on and so forth. And let's see if the 11th Lord is involved with the 4th Lord. Okay, not directly, but it is the Jupiter is, it is involved actually. The 4th Lord is Ketu, okay? So Ketu has no drishti. The other Lord, Jupiter, is also the Lagna Lord, which is in the 12th house. Now we are looking for some 4th, 11th kind of a relationship or something, okay? Because that's the second layer we need. So that is also present. So Venus, the Lord of the 11th, is in trines to the Jupiter, which is the Lord of the 4th. Jupiter is also aspecting the moon. Fantastic. Being the Lagna Lord, it is aspecting the moon. It is aspecting the 6th Lord, 4th Lord, being the 4th Lord, and the 11th Lord. This works, right? Okay. Now, we move to Mercury. Okay. What's going on with Mercury? Wow. Mercury is, what bunches are we talking about here? This is the 4th weekday, which is Wednesday. Mercury ruled Rohini, Uttara, Falguni, Purva, Ashadha. All of these carry Mercury. Now, at this point, I want to stress something, that Mercury karma, as a collective, as human beings, Mercury is the Gandha, that is the Prithvi Tattva. So they have they carry, all people more or less in some shape or form, we will all carry the Mercury karma. Okay, we will in some way, because we all have to live, we all have to communicate and socially, we are social creatures. So they will carry that. But for some people with moon in Rohini, people in Uttara Falguni, people with moon or Lagna or anything in Purva Shada, they will have a marked, guaranteed Mercury will be a defining planet in their chart. Take my word for it, okay? Well, actually don't, but I'm just kidding. So, okay, here we go. So what are the grahas, the bhavas that have to get involved for Mercury? No indirect influence. So no planets are born under this category. So none of these nakshatras carry the birth star for anything. So that's fine. So the 4th bhava lord influences are there for the nakshatras above. And the Lagna Lord needs a connection with the 4th Lord. Okay, what else? What are the different professions and different aspects of Mercury that we can talk about, and which will give us the karma for Mercury in what sphere? Because we are looking for not just a planet, okay, Mercury, Mars, where is this going to manifest, in which field? Publishing, writing books, library, finance, accounts, auditing, voiceover, dubbing artists, mimicry, presenters, TV, videography, film, tongue-related focus, storytellers, love marriages, love, communication, publishing, false accusations, information, gossip, social networking, all this will be under the Mercury karma. If you have moon in let's go back here a bit. I forgot moon in Uttara Falguni or Purva Ashada. I believe our organizer, Paul Barker, the CEO, has got moon in Purva Ashada. So he definitely has an influence of karmic registry of Mercury.
Yes, my Mercury's in Lagna. It's afflicted. It's a cursed Mercury. It's afflicted with Mars and Ketu.
Yes, absolutely. So yes,
I've had to do a lot of remedial work on it. That's Sanjay told me to do.
Yes, absolutely. So here, it is carrying all the karma of the love marriage. You know, now through media, the Aadhaar cards, ID, Visa cards, MasterCards, identity, they will have to deal with a lot of this, including divorces and stuff like that, because love marriages, divorces, all of that will be linked. There will be false accusations in their life, information, gossip. And I swear, Paul, I did not think of you when I was writing this. I swear to you, you know, I did not reverse engineer this.
It's true. With my last job before I was retired, I had false accusations made against me. Which,
Thank you.
I did win when against the company, but I did leave nevertheless. But I did protest against the company, and they were going to fire me, but I was able to prove that they were lying. People who made the claims, and it got withdrawn. But I left anyhow. I didn't want to be with them. So yes, it did. It's true.
Yes. So, and you are in the media, you like your learning and presenting and all of that. There's someday, I think publishing is going to be on your list. I'm sure of it.
Well, I haven't, in other jobs, I did do some, when I was an environmental advisor, and I did write things. I actually got paid from the government about £15,000 actually. So.
Wow.
So that was, so I have dabbled in writing and earning a living from writing. But
well, there you go.
It was in the context of other careers.
See, it says love, marriage, sensational problems.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Sorry, I beg your pardon, the wrong spelling here. But yes, false actors. So they have to be very vigilant. If you have any of these nakshatras, moon or thing, be very careful of the written and spoken word, especially the spoken. Because if you speak, it's going to be taken negatively and so on and so forth. Be very careful of form fillings and, keep your paperwork pakka, and so on and so forth. So anyway, that's the karma they're carrying. So invariably, the fourth lord placed in sixth will give court cases, because sometimes a lot of people have the signature of fourth lord in sixth lord in fourth, and the Lagna lord has got involved. And also a fourth lord is connected to the eighth lord, mistakes happen here. So more so if they're having nakshatras connected to it. So there is this particular combination of 4th, 12th, and 6th in each of these houses. There it's going to be a mess if you are carrying the Mercury karma, the second grade one, the second potential, if it's not the nakshatras directly connected. Okay, so let's see some examples. Oh wow, who's here? John McEnroe. Anybody remember him?
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember him?
Yeah.
Right.
Mr. Angry.
Yeah, very angry. So you see, he's also carrying another karma, the Mars karma as well. That's why a little bit of anger is coming in. There's a new documentary that is, I think I haven't seen it yet. It's in America. So it says John McEnroe faces his demon's dad and shadow self in new Showtime documentary. Now, he basically, the tennis game, obviously, as you all familiar with, so suave and sophisticated, and it's strawberries and cream in, sort of in Wimbledon. It's beautiful. But when he came with all his tantrums and outrageous, crazy behavior and all that fierce, sort of like language he used, it was a mess, it was like a complete mess. And he does have moon in Rohini. And you know what, later while I was researching him, I learned, guess where the moon is? The moon is in the 11th house of the father. It shows it's carrying the karmic registry of Mercury. It is with Mars. Moon is the 11th lord. So wherever the 11th lord goes, okay, you will be angry towards that person. You will be livid. Okay. So because moon is the Amatya Karaka, it is exalted, it is in Rohini. Moon is the Amatya Karaka. Where are you going to be angry? Where are you going to throw a fit in your career? The entire spotlight of his career, he has gone down in history knowing the guy who always threw a fit. And in 1984, it was a debacle where he was like, no way he's ever going to, something big happened because of his tantrums and arguing and abusing the empire and stuff like that. So obviously it was played out in his career. Moon, Amatya Karaka. 11th lord, and also his father, he fired his father. He was angry. His father was an alcoholic. He was angry. He grew up in an angry household. Obviously, then he doled out the same to his father. But he still kept him as his manager or working with him. But eventually he just got rid of him. He said, no, this is, I think there was stealing and all kinds of, weird stuff, but basically, it shows that moon with Mangal, even 11th lord, and wherever the 9th lord is. So the 9th lord is here, and the 9th lord. So there is also a connection with the 9th lord in the 6th house. So of course, it's anger and litigation and all kinds of conflicts for the entire world to see. And Venus is Atmakaraka. So does he have any other? Yes, he's got Purva Bhadra. Which other Uttara Falguni and Purva Ashada? So no, nothing in Purva Ashada, nothing in Uttara Bhadrapad. So, but still there is Rohini there. One is sufficient, I think, with him. Okay, let's move to Jupiter. Mrigashera, Hasta, and Uttara Ashada. Those are the three. These are the heavyweights. The Jupiter is my favorite. Mrigashera, Hasta, and Uttara Ashada. So what are we looking here? They carry the karmic registry of Jupiter. And guess what? This is very fitting because when we talk of Jupiter here, Mrigashera's birth star, who was born in Mrigashera? The moon. Who's born in Hasta? The sun. Who's born in Uttara Ashada? Mangal, Mars. So that is the birth star of Mangal. So now at this stage, I want to tell you that I gave you a list earlier of all the birth stars, okay? So, but please do not come and ask me why is the birth star in that particular nakshatra, okay? That is one question you all are banned from asking me. Why? Because there is a Tamil text or a Telugu ancient text, Chandrika something, which I am chasing. There is no Sanskrit, there is no translation exists, and I am sort of pursuing it. I do not speak Telugu, I do not speak Tamil, and leave alone read. I speak a little bit Tamil, but forget it, reading out of question. So I'm trying to chase that book, because there the logic is given. So till then, do not ask me, okay? Please, thank you very much. But if you can help, be my guest. I will be very keen to know. So these three karmic registry of Jupiter, Mrigashira, Hasta, Uttarashara, Moon, Sun, and Mars. Who is the Mool Trikona for Moon? Taurus. Who is the Mool Trikona for Surya? Leo. Who's the Mool Trikona for Mangal? Mars? Aries. So in the Naisargika, Aries, first house, Taurus, Vrishabha, second house, and the fifth house all got involved in the karmic registry of Jupiter. That is a second layer. First layer is these direct nakshatras. Second layer is 1, 2, second house, fifth house. Any combinations of these lords or interaction or conjunctions with them have a direct, you are carrying the Jupiter karma. You will have to see what is the Jupiter karma. Priests, pujaris in the temple, doing pujas, professors, chasing knowledge, expansion, being a spiritual narrator, preacher, religious gurus. What is a spiritual narrator? In India, I don't know if there are any Indians here at the moment, but in India, there is a big concept in villages and everywhere, okay? It's like huge. It is called Ram Katha. Ram Katha is they recite and they give fun stuff, make it fun to masses and masses of people, all about the Ramcharitamanas. And it's in easy language, the dialect, in the Hindi particular dialect, and it is fantastic because they narrate the whole Ramayana bits by bits with anecdotes and jocular style, sometimes depending obviously on the spiritual narrator. And it is huge. It is a big, I'm not just talking of being a business, but it is very popular for the sanity. It's like therapy. In India, you cannot go to a therapist. They look down on you. They'll think, what the hell? He's got a mental issue. Put him in like a institution. But their way of therapy is this spiritual narration. So they go to big satsangs where there is somebody spiritual narrating, and they laugh, and then they listen to all the stories of Ramayana, Sri Ram and Hanuman, and sing the Hanuman Chalisa and so on and so forth. So they are all carrying in some way, shape or form the spiritual narrators carrying the Jupiter karma, because they are doing a great service to communities. They are uplifting the mental turbulence and mental health of people. Okay. The problems, if you have Jupiter karma, if your first lord, Lagna lord and fifth lord are connected, each of them are in conjunction, you are carrying some children related issues, health issues regards childbirth, money flow, teacher, lecturer, that particular bhava, that profession, that particular bhava will give you that profession, complications, legal problems, all of that. And guess what? King Dasharath was literally with childless, which is in Ramayana. King Dashrath then had to do an havan. Like a havan is like a big ceremony, puja. And finally he came out of it, and on the instructions of, it's called the Putraka Meshti Yagya. Okay. So Rishi Shringa Muni, he advised him to do it in order to get sons. And finally, he got Sri Ram, Lakshman, Bharata, and Shatrughan. So hence, this, so he carried the Jupiter karma. So often these people will have a problem. Hasta, Mrigashira, Uttara Ashada, Nakshatras, 1, 5, and second house. Okay, so on and so forth. So erudite, complicated delivery, these are all coming under, educational institutions, government teachers, government finance. All of this has a very strong of this kind of signature. Jewelry, gold, late child, somewhere along in their family tree, somebody has no children. Mark my words. Go research, find out, if you have that. Okay. Guess whom we have here? Our good old ex, yeah, he will always be remembered for that hair of his. And so what does he have here? He does have strong Guru karma. See, often the 9th and the 10th Lord will also be the trine, the Dharma trines are involved, 1, 5, and 9 lords are involved. Does he have? Yes, he has Mrigashira, sun ascendant in Hasta, Surya in Mrigashira. Oh my God, he's like totally carrying that. Totally, he's carrying that karma. Mrigashira and Hasta, and he's got like how many planets in Mrigashira? 2, Mercury and Venus. My God. So 10th Lord has got involved. 5th Lord has got Drishti. No, the 5th Lord doesn't have Drishti, but the 2nd Lord certainly has. It has got involved in the 10th house and the 9th house. So of course he's in the government. And hey, guess what? How many children does he have from how many women? Does anyone know? Because I've lost count. Because
No,
so
it's a
many people
secret.
have. Sorry?
It's not known. He has a lot. Some of his partners have had abortions, I think, but it's not actually known the precise number. I did try to work it out on the D7, but I was told to just give it up as a bad job because it's just not known how many he's got or what he's had along the way.
Thank you, Paul. So you see the extremes of children karma. This is a Jupiter script here. Either there is no children, or if there are children, you don't know, you lost track. How many women are coming forward? Who, what, where? How did that happen? So it's crazy, yeah? Okay, who's next on the list? Bill Clinton. Okay, so he may not directly have, but he does have moon in Kritika. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Not Kritika. We are looking for Mrigashira and Hasta, right? Oops, sorry. Mrigashira and Hasta. So he has Mars in Hasta and ascendant in Hasta. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Yeah, I knew something was there. So yes, Mars in Hasta, ascendant in Hasta. So yeah, he is definitely in the government, very strong karma with the government, because Jupiter will give you a strong karma with the government. He is a speaker, lot of knowledge. His talks sell out for thousands of pounds, and I kid you not, his 1 hour charge for just coming in, somebody has to fly him in, and literally it's like 100,000 an hour, and I'm not joking about that. Okay, Hillary Clinton was once asked what she found in him, and she said it was his intellectual capacity, because he's a brilliant, absolutely enchanting and charismatic speaker, phenomenal. So you see, that is all Lagna. It's the glory of his Lagna. So that has transpired, yeah? And the 5th Lord is involved in that Lagna. It has a Rashi Drishti on the Lagna. It's phenomenal. Anyway, sorry, not Rashi Drishti, I beg your pardon, Graha Drishti. Yeah. Now we come to Venus, okay? Ardra, Chitra, and now some people who have this may not like it. They may be a little bit touchy, but please bear, one thing doesn't make up a story, okay? So it's a little bit sensitive. Venus is Ardra, Chitra, and Shravana. So these are carrying the karmic registries for Venus. These are, so who is anyone born in birth star of anything? No, not really. So this, on derivation, it is derived that the karmic registry for Venus is funneled through the 3rd house, 3rd Lord in Lagna, Lagna Lord in 3rd, or these nakshatras. So the 3rd, 6th, and 8th bhava have got involved in the karmic Venus script. These people, if you have any of these connections with the Lagna Lord or any of these nakshatras, kidney issues, urinary tract, childbirth problems, reproductive or problems in the reproductive problems, because it's the 8th bhava. Now let's see. PR, beauty, work-related films, beauty products, but there is a sense of abuse, especially with Ardra. So please be careful. These people are brilliant, but they have high sexual urges, all of them. And these people are passionate. The 3rd Lord in Lagna, Lagna Lord, again, will have similar nature. will carry the similar signature of the karmic script of Venus. High sexual urges, often there is abuse also in childhood, but please, it's a sensitive issue, not easy. Maybe it may be abused by also military or police or thugs or whatever. There may be issues with that too. Okay. Let's see him. Steven Spielberg. Wow. The Lagna itself is in Ardra. So, of course, beauty, cinema, films, all of that, yes. One of my favorite films, which he was one of the directors, is the Memoirs of a Geisha. I've put it there. I just found the photography, everything. The whole film was so beautiful. And that shows that Lagna in Ardra is pretty remarkable. Yeah. So the Lagna Lord itself is in the 6th house. Beautiful. Very, very strong 6th house. Okay. Let's move further. Beyonce. We all know her? Beautiful. And the Lagna is in Chitra. Wow. So the Chitra has also got involved here. So which are we looking for? Ardra, Chitra, and Shravan. She doesn't have anything in Ardra, does she? No, nothing in, oh, sorry, nothing in Ardra. But two planets, Lagna and Jupiter, not Jupiter, sorry, Venus in Chitra. And Venus literally is on her Lagna. Now, this is another thing, that Venus is literally ruling her 9th house. It is ruling her 2nd house. Beautiful. So all of these beauty and treatments, and she's known for all of her persona because it's the Lagna is in Chitra. Absolutely fantastic. And the 3rd Lord is also, is the 3rd Lord involved? No, not really. The 3rd Lord is Mangal. So the 3rd Lord is not really involved in this, in this configuration of Lagna. But the 3rd Lord is also not in, it's in Pushya, so it's not in directly connected. But her ascendant and Venus on her appearance definitely is. So she is definitely carrying the script of Venus. Okay. What else? The Punarvasu Saturn. So we are coming to an end now. Punarvasu, Swati, Dhanishta. These are carrying the karmic script for Shani. Okay. Now, why Shani? Okay. Let's see. Why Shani? Because the birth of Shani, the birth star of Mercury falls in Dhanishta, okay? If the birth star falls in Dhanishta. So, of course, even with Shani, the 6th house has got involved because the natural, Mool Trikon for, well, there is no really Mool Trikon or, is the 3rd and the 6th. But the Mercury houses are the 6th, but the karma of Virgo is going to be very, very strong for the Shani. 6th house karma is going to be very strong for the karmic registry. And you have these planets, for sure, you will have a direct link with the Saturn. So Saturn will be a crucial karma that is going to give you. What is Saturn? Like health issues, imprisonment, because he is the Karaka for the 12th house as well, because you have to also see what the Saturn is Karaka for. He's also like in terms of the body issues and diseases, he's a Karaka as far as the 6th house is concerned. 8th house is a longevity, and of course he's a Karaka of all that, for sure. So these people will have this, because no, I'm not saying power, but they have certain karma regards longevity of themselves and others, okay? You have to remember that. So, but the Mars nature is often, they also carry the energy of Mars. Okay, so that is also something you have to remember. Okay, because the Shani is, anyway, this is, I don't know, this is a little off slide, but We'll come back to that. I don't know about that. Let's do first an example for Shani. Ooh, Peter Sutcliffe. Wow, look at his victims. Anybody remember him?
Yeah.
You're joking.
Yorkshire Ripper.
You must be joking.
Yorkshire Ripper, absolutely. Like a diabolical killer, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, and he was in prison for a very long time, though his brother and everybody said, oh, he looked like the guy. I mean, there was no problem. He was cheerful and stuff like that. But here, the Lagna Lord is Mangal, which is in the ninth house. Okay. But let's see what is happening. The moon is in Punarvasu. What did we say here? Punarvasu, Swati or Dhanishta. So the moon is in Punarvasu, my God, and that's also the Atmakaraka. And it rules the ninth house. So the ninth house is basically a lot of the karma, but there is a problem because the ninth house is all about religion and right behavior and dharmic behavior. If that ninth lord has gone in the eighth, you have really messed up there, really messed up. And this is because of your own dosha, because of moon being the Atmakaraka. And it still won't have been so bad, but he would have been able to recover if the place Shani was placed better, because Shani is Amatya Karaka. But Shani is also, oh my God, Shani is also in Punarvasu, my God. So do you see that?
Yeah.
That's diabolical. And it is with Venus. Now, Venus is in Ardra. Remember what I said about abuse? These people are like sexually highly charged. I don't know. Did he molest these women and then he killed them or what?
No, I think he just killed them.
Yeah. So
it's never been revealed clearly what's happened. The police still won't reveal exactly what it did with them. Yeah, well, you see Venus, all these women with Shani, with the moon, all this Ardra. So that's the karmic signature Ardra is carrying for Venus. So Venus is in that. So Venus is going to farm off all that karma. And Venus in the 8th, he's going to feel forever it's called the Yogi Shukra. He feels like he's never connected or never attached to any woman. So it's easy for you to kill. And Saturn is there and moon is in MKS. And moon is also the Atmakaraka. So it's all the fallen religion because being the ninth lord. So you see, not a good case. So you see how much karma is coming from that just two Punarvasus. Wow. Okay. Now we have the Rahu blueprint, Pushya, Vishakha, and Shatabhishak. Okay. Here, who was born in Pushya? Rahu was born in Pushya. Wow. So the Rahu karmic imprint is going to be farmed from Jupiter. Why? Or from Sagittarius or the ninth house. Why? Because the Rahu karma, Jupiter's Mool Trikon sign is in Sagittarius, which is the Naisargika Kal Purusha. It is in the ninth house, Sagittarius. Hence, that is a karmic registry, which it will be crucial for Rahu karma. So the Rahu karma will be farmed, ninth house, ninth lord has to be involved with Rahu invariably. And let's see what all Rahu, wow, Rahu is like a big topic. Government related work, electronics, computer related work, driving, logistics, shipping, export, import businesses related to Rahu. Department of Archaeology, History, Scriptures, Foreign Languages, Suicidal death, Accidental, Murder deaths, Mysterious circumstances, because it is Rahu. Cancerous tumors related issues, alchemy, biochemistry, all of that. So basically, not just the ninth lord, the 6th lord, 9th, 10th, and 12th bhavas are also
crucial for farming of the Rahu karma. Biomedical profession, surgery, laser treatments, chemotherapies. Rahu is associated with the ultraviolet rays. Ketu is associated with infrared. So invariably, all these radioactive materials you will be working with, or they will have an influence. Maybe not directly, but you will be. I know people who've got moon in Vishakha and they love chemistry, was their favorite subject. Favorite. So you see, it does. And they wanted to be a chemistry teacher, but of course it didn't happen. But they are doing all this. They are doing computers and electronics work. Oh my God, you can't make this up. Okay, so let's move forward. Okay, so Guru and Ketu, Surya and Rahu, all of these will carry the 6th, 9th, 10th, and 12th bhava are involved with farming of the Rahu karma. Okay, cancer related deep radiology. I just went through that. I think it's a repeat slide. There's another thing, a little secret that is coming. Often if you have these nakshatras or some Rahu karma, then there is a leftover spirit energies in your home from your father's side, which you have to clear, because it is the 9th house. That's why. Wow. Do we know her? The Curies. They became research workers at the School of Chemistry and Physics in Paris and pioneering. I mean, she was one of the first women to actually get on board of the Royal School of Medicine and Chemistry in, I think in Prague or somewhere. But anyway, she has been recognized as one of the most pioneering. But my God, what a life and dedication. She got this black, what is that called? That material, the substance to see, first to discover the invisible properties which are given off by uranium. But it didn't come, uranium didn't come. Yeah, pitch blend, the black samples and going through. And I saw the film, which was phenomenal. So all of that working day in and day out, like, with a pestle and mortar, like physically kind of bringing it down to a black powder, more active than uranium, polonium, and so on and so forth. So what is all that? That is all Rahu karma. My God, you can't make this up. It is total Rahu. Finally, she died of cancer.
Yes,
So
she died from the radioactivity that she was working with radioactivity, and it killed her. It killed quite a few of the workers. And
yeah, absolutely. But it was carcinogenic, all of that what she worked with, So guess what? The sun in Vishakha and the sun Rahu in Vishakha too. No, the Rahu is in Purva Falguni. But there is Shatabhishaj. Ketu is in Shatabhishaj. So which ones we are looking for? Vishakha, Shatabhishaj, and Pushya. So she's got 2 of those. Wow, amazing, huh? And it is her 9th lord. Rahu is in the 9th. And being Matrikarika, she had to travel out. So she she was born somewhere and went to her another country. So you see that Rahu was crucial in farming off in the 9th house, giving all that karma coming from that radioactive. I mean, she's gone down like a phenomenal scientist. The sun is in the 11th house. Phenomenal karma. And there is a Shraddha, heavy Shraddha Rahu Shani karma too coming, because giving a powerful Shraddha yoga, because Rahu and Shani has a Rashi Drishti on Rahu. So that can be quite diabolical, quite tough. But 1, 6, and 9 houses have got involved along with the 8th. Anyway, let's see the last chart. Sorry?
I think it's Grad Drishti from Saturn to Rahu, not Rashi Drishti.
Yeah, sorry, I beg your pardon. I meant, Grad Drishti, sorry, yeah. Absolutely. But the most crucial thing is the obvious. Those nakshatras will carry the imprint, the Rahu imprints, karmic imprint. She had to do this. There was no choice for her. She couldn't say, oh, I'm going to just teach, poetry or something. No, she had to do that. And later, actually, the years, wasn't she responsible for our modern day development of X-rays and all of that? Because she herself had some problems with cancer, and because all of that, they discovered that years later, that all that working with pitch blend hours on end literally killed her. I think she had some kind of a bronchial troubles or something, right?
I don't know about that.
That's in the film, though. I saw the film. It's a phenomenal film. Anyway, our last chart for the day, Shri Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramchandraya. Beautiful, beautiful. This, you cannot make it up, guys. Seriously, Sun in Shatabhishaj. Wow. Mercury in Shatabhishaj. Superb. So you see in the Lagna, and Ketu is also there. It's not being shown, but Ketu is in Vishakha, you see, because Ketu is in 2 degrees of Scorpio, and his whole life was about Ketu. His whole life was that Ketu, the blessings of Ananta Dev, because it's in directional strength in the 10th house. You see?
Mm-hmm.
As you see, from the Lagna, it is in directional strength in the 10th house. So phenomenal, absolutely legendary. And 1st and 6th Lord in Lagna. So the 6th Lord is in Lagna, and he did die of cancer. That is a known fact. But the trouble is, you see, people with carrying the Rahu karma will at some point die of cancer or, tumor related stuff. Rahu is his Atmakaraka. Ketu obviously has got involved because his entire life is all about Ketu and moksha and Vedanta, and, and Ketu is in the fixed star of Vishakha, 2 degrees of Scorpio. So you see, the thing is, he was known that anybody who came to him, he literally gave them, touched them, and they would be able to get rid of a lot of their curses accrued for many lifetimes. I mean, this is a Mahatma. You cannot, everybody can't, average Joe can't do this. Okay. So literally you can't take away anybody. You can give some remedies. Yes, sure, we all can. But to be able to actually kill off all the curses from many, many lifetimes in an instant, just being in his presence, is that phenomenal Ketu, the 10th Lord.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, his persona, the moon is also in the, in the Lagna. And that Lagna in, the Surya, it is with Surya, and Surya is in Shatabhishaj. Superb. Mercury in Shatabhishaj, the 5th Lord in Shatabhishaj. So you see, it is a direct, he has that direct link with that Rahu karmic registry.
We've got a request, anything on Swami Vivekananda. You may not have it to hand.
Yeah, I do have. Yes, sure. I will have to log on to my. Shall I stop sharing and log on to my software? Unless you want to put it up.
Well, I haven't got it. Someone's asked.
Okay, I've got it.
J. Krishnamurti.
Jiddu Krishnamurti, also I have it. Okay, let me just reshare the new share. Okay. Okay, can everybody see this?
Yeah.
Vivekananda, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see what is going on here. What karmic registry is he? Jupiter, moon in Hasta. Wow. And Saturn in Hasta. And the Lagna is in Purva Shara. So you see Purva Shara, what are they carrying the karmic registry of? Mercury.
Hmm.
And what did we say about Mercury? That not just about that spiritual narrators and even just Jupiter will have that communication and all of that, writings and publishing. I mean, he made all the 4 yoga books. His work is phenomenal. I mean, he was instrumental in setting up the Ramakrishna mission. So he's carrying the Jupiter and Mercury karma.
Hmm.
Moon is in Hasta. Phenomenal.
I love Gita.
Sorry?
Sorry, it's a Gita yoga. Jupiter, Mercury.
I beg your pardon?
I'm sorry, I'm thinking out loud. I
Oh,
said
okay. Sorry.
Jupiter, Mercury is Gita. Gita yoga.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But you see, there is a direct link.
Hmm. Phenomenal.
So let's see. Okay, let me just see which karmic registries, what all are there. Okay. So so what all does he have? So his Lagna is in Purvashara, which is Mercury, and moon is in Hasta. So the Hasta will carry the Guru Karma. Of course, until he didn't even believe his Guru, right? Until he met Ramakrishna Paramahansa.
Hmm.
Only after that, even then, when he met him, this is what we've been told, and it's in some of the texts, that even after he met him, he would say, show me God and show me how. And, he was not really believing him. So, of course, he had this deep Guru karma. Otherwise, how else would you find your Guru and then take the word of the Guru forward into the world and set up like mutts or the ashrams all over the country? How else can you do it if you do not have any Guru karma? You tell me, how would you do it if you didn't have anything? You have to have that. You have to, for publishing of any kind, you have to have some Mercury karma. Otherwise, it's impossible. Impossible. Won't work.
So, Anil, we did get a question earlier on.
Yes.
Can we use Nadi Nakshatra Tara based on each Graha native original star is born into? So can we? So whatever the star that's
birth star,
can that be applied, put into the Nadi Nakshatra Tara? The Tara about the Nadi Nakshatra Tara table. I think that Gordon was talking about, and see if that's going to do anything. I think that would probably be. I think that would probably be the area of research.
Yeah, and that would be great. Can I just which other chart did you want to see? Jiddu Krishnamurti. Jiddu Krishnamurti, right? Okay. Is this the one?
Yeah, I think that's the one.
Is this correct though?
Yes, it is.
Okay, lovely. Who's that? Ramesh? Yeah,
Yes.
Ramesh.
Namaste.
Okay. Okay. So let's analyze. Okay. So the Lagna is in Dhanishta. Okay, so let's see what the karmic registry of Dhanishta is, because I'm kind of it's Shani's Dhanishta, Shani's karmic registry. So there's a lot of, and Sun is in Kritika. So there's a Mangal registry, and Mangal is his 11th lord. And where is Mangal? It's in the 6th. So there were issues with his, remember, there were issues with his, he was angry towards his sibling, his died, right? His younger brother. Firstly, he got his parents, he was given away by his biological father, okay? And that does show this whole Rahu thing, because Rahu is ruling his 9th house, okay? And where is Rahu? It is in Purva Bhadra. So Purva Bhadra is carrying the karmic registry of the sun. Sun represents the father. And Rahu is the, also, so Rahu is bringing out all the 9th house stuff through the sun, because the sun is in, the father abandoned him, right? So that's a very Rahuvian thing, adoptions, putting up people and so on and so forth. All that is very Rahu stuff. And it is also Jupiter, because when we talk of children and adoptions of children, we are also talking of Jupiter. So Jupiter, Guru is Mrigashira, Hasta and Uttara Ashada. So is there Hasta and Uttara Ashada? Nope. So
I'm going to have to move on fairly quickly, so
yeah, sure. It's interesting though, his chart. That's definitely that karma with his siblings is very, very evident. With that Jupiter is involved there. But you see, this needs to be explored a bit more in, bit more, because it does work though. It's phenomenal. And the thing is that it comes out through the bhavas. So if you may not have a direct link with, let's say, a particular nakshatra, then it will, if you have a 1-5 connection, then you have like 1st house and 5th house, as we discussed earlier, then invariably you have Jupiter karma. Invariably. If they are in a yoga, in a conjunction or an aspect, Rashi Drishti together, 100% you have Jupiter karma. Okay?
can it be the dispositor?
Yeah.
Say, yeah. Okay. There is another question, then we'll have to draw the line there. Can you relate Surya karma to health issues of the native body, e.g. Prince Charles, or medicine or father figure? Of course, Prince Charles, now King Charles, was a champion of homeopathy, for which he got criticised.
Can you relate Surya karma to health issue of native's body? Oh, yes, absolutely, Rosemary. Definitely. Example, medicine father type. Yes, absolutely. Because if they're carrying the sun karma, who carried the sun karma? The father of homeopathy, right? That is what was created. Who's that? Samuel, whoever. Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
you mean their own problems, Rosemary?
Yes, there were two questions in that question. Sorry. Yes, their own health. The first part was their own health. Can you?
Yes, of course, because the 6th lord is involved, right?
Right.
And especially remember the sun, when we did the sun, I'll just show the, just the new share. Let me go to the, go back to the sun karma, because you were specifically asking what are the houses that are involved with the sun karma. You see 1, 6 and 12, right? 6th and 12th is typically employment and the job that you do, your health, discipline, and the 12th house is your like your, you know, whatever you in terms of like institutions and losses and so on and so forth, and spirituality. So if you do have the sun karma, then you need an aspect of 6th and 12th lord. And if they are in aspect, that 100%, yes, it will show in your body, and you are carrying the sun karma. And if Rahu, let's say you have 1, 6th and 12th lord involved, okay? And if it is, so it may not be in these nakshatras, let's say, it may not directly be related in these nakshatras, that is fine. But if you have 1st, 6th and 12th lord involved in any yoga, and it's also connecting to the 10th lord, and let's say you throw in another thing in it, it is Rahu is involved, there is a Pitri dosh, because Surya karma will invariably lead to some kind of Pitri dosh. Pitri karma, for sure. So yes, I think I would say definitely.
I definitely, in my case, in my own chart, I picked that up when you gave those nakshatras, because they're all triggered. And
oh, really?
Moon up Makaraka, Lagna Lord, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Involved.
I found that for myself also, and I've done counseling for at-risk and homeless children, and I'm also an end-of-life doula. And so, yeah, so it that nailed it on the sun. And then for me, even with regards to moon and the Saturn stuff, I mean, very good, incredible, really beautiful, beautifully done, Sonal. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I was fearing that, you know, it was too complicated, but what a great audience. Thank you, Paul, for this, you know, and John, and, you know, like phenomenal. But feel free to join the divinations and, you know, the other group, Sonwa, for more discussions and all that. But yeah, I'm very pleased. And thank you for somebody suggested the Nadi Nakshatra thing. Is this what they're talking, that the Nadi Nakshatra birth stars are in these particular ones?
Yeah, I think it's a fusion of two ideas.
It's a what, Paul? Sorry. What's that, Paul?
I think it's a fusion of the two ideas, but I'll let the...
Yes, Paul, was my idea, because I was interested if we could combine, because I think you were talking about before Nakshatra Nadi, in a kind of way you related when you were talking about Ashwini was Matrikarka for Charles, King Charles, and I was thinking about, does remind me the Nada Atara, so I was thinking if you cannot combine these two techniques, but this is just an idea.
That's for you to investigate. So when you find the answer, Rosario, you can give a webinar on it.
Who is this person? Who's this? What's his name?
Rosario.
We know each other.
Okay. Sorry, I'm a little bit like, can I just put the Telegram, because we can take this discussion you know, here. I've put it here. Please leave your comments in the group. I've put the link there because I'm very keen to know and explore, and because I'm breaking my head over this. Why are the birth stars of the planets in these particular nakshatras? Why? That has been my big question.
I think that there's a few actual attendees as opposed to panelists, and I don't think they can necessarily see this or contribute. So there's a number of people who probably won't be able to see what you've just put up.
So everyone, shall I do? Yeah, everyone.
I hope it goes to everyone, including the attendees.
Can everybody see the Telegram group link, please?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, but those who can't do it, they may not be able to indicate, because I'm not sure the they can speak or type anything in. This is one of the problems. That's another hidden problem I've been experiencing. That
Okay,
people are telling
okay.
me.
That's fine. So what they can do is, hi Rosario, thank you Rosario. So please put your comments in the talk in on the Telegram group so that I know what is going on, because you're right, Paul. I'm like a bit like, oh my God, I can't deal with these messages.
And you
As
get
in,
a
I
lot.
don't know, I don't understand. But yes, thank you very, very much, Paul, for your help.
No, thank you. I mean, you know, it's so you've opened up a whole new area. As far as I can see, that's going to be useful, and everything you kept saying certainly applied to me. You know, it was incredible that you've mapped out my life there. So
Yeah, brilliant. Love it. Absolutely brilliant.
Just
thank
like
you,
that.
thank you.
Okay, so I'll end the recording, and how do I do this? Hold on. Here we go.